guys, it's D and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be watching season 1 episode 6 of House of the Dragon. I've been looking forward to this episode all week. A few things to touch on before we dive on into the episode. I wanted to touch on a few things that happened in last week's episode. If you saw my reaction, I was stunned. I was speechless. My brain melted. My jaw was on the floor. All sorts of things happened. Beginning of the episode, I didn't realize that. So you see Viserys on the boat, and he was sick. And I was like, oh, maybe he gets motion sickness. Well, he is actually sick. The actor came out and said that he does have a form of leprosy. So that could be a contributing factor. However, in my reaction, I was like, maybe that's why he never claimed another dragon, is because he gets motion sickness. Now, them being on a ship going to Driftmark is interesting because Rhaenyra has a dragon, Laenor has a dragon, Laena has a dragon, Rhaenys has a dragon. Like, everybody has dragons. So you taking a ship somewhere when you have dragons seems a little slow. Seems a little, like you're just like, I'm going to take my time, when you can be like, I'll be there in an hour. That kind of thing. So I noticed that the king got motion sickness, but he's also sick. So I was like, maybe that's why he never claimed another dragon, because he could have claimed Vhagar. That would have been amazing if he had claimed Vhagar after Balerion had died. Kristen Cole, that man just, I don't know. I don't side with him. It was really sweet when he was like, oh, let's run away together and blah, 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 blah. And Rhaenyra's like, I'm the princess. I'm the heir. I'm the one to take over the throne. Like, it's my responsibility to the realm to be here. She's got the prophecy in the back of her head and what her father's told her. And so she's got a lot on her plate. She's got a lot on her mind. Alicent. I don't know how I feel about that one. She had her little birdie, Larys Strong, whispering sweet nothings in her ear. She summons Kristen Cole and talks to him, and he just word vomits everything. And I was watching another YouTuber, and they had mentioned that she was talking slow and deliberate, but she was talking slow kind of on purpose to see if he would catch on to where she was going. Kind of like she was leading him somewhere. And instead of just sitting there and listening to everything that Alicent was saying, he kind of just blurted everything out. Rhaenyra and Laenor came up with an arrangement for their marriage. They would do their duty. They would do what they're supposed to do for their fathers and for the realm. And yet, when everything was said and done, they can go off and feast how they like, which I thought was really sweet. It was a really, cute moment between them. They are related. I think they're second cousins, because Princess Rhaenys and Viserys are first cousins, and so the siblings of those cousins would be second cousins, if memory serves me correctly. And I think I looked it up. I think they're second cousins. Otto left, like, toodles, bye. The Daemon situation. Yeah, that was not expected. I didn't expect him to go as far as he did with dealing with his wife. However, the torment that she inflicted on him, mocking him, taunting him, you know, she fell from her horse and he was just going to leave her there. And then she opened her mouth and said what she said, and he did what he did, and it was not okay. I don't agree with what he did. I don't, applaud what he did. What he did was wrong. And I'm sure there will be repercussions for that in upcoming episodes. Yeah. And then Kristen Cole doing what he did. They've people online have labeled this wedding as the green wedding. So there was the red wedding in season 3 of Game of Thrones. There was the purple wedding. I think the wedding, there was another wedding that they've labeled the black wedding. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, comment down below. It took place in the north, is all I'll say. I don't want to give away spoilers if people still haven't watched Game of Thrones. And I know that there are some people that are still watching Game of Thrones. Yeah. This episode, we're getting some new actors. Getting some new people playing Rhaenyra and playing Queen Alicent. So their actors have been aged up. New actors for them. New actors for Laena and Laenor. This is going to be an interesting episode because we're dealing with a time jump. Now, my confusion, and I've talked about this with other YouTubers when reacting to their videos and watching their videos. Everyone's saying it's a 10-year time jump. However, I'm like, okay, if she got married when she was 17, 18, then in the time jump, she would be 28. And from the promos that I've watched, she hasn't had all of her children yet. I don't want to give away spoilers. And I know how old she is when the story's done. And how old she is in the show versus how old she is in the books when the story is finished. I don't want to give away spoilers. Those numbers are very close to each other. And so I was just like, this doesn't make sense. And then I realized that because they've aged everyone up, they aged, like in the books, when Rhaenyra is named the heir, she's like under the age of 10. I think she's like 7 or 8. When she marries Laenor, she's younger than she is in the show. Also, Laenor and Laena are supposed to be older than her in the books. However, they've made the two of them younger than her in the show. And they've made Alicent and her close to the same age, where in the books, Alicent's like 9 years older than Rhaenyra. So if Rhaenyra's 7 in the show, Alicent would be like 16, like up their age. And Elena and Laenor are supposed to be about 5 years older than her. So that's interesting. Also, her father is supposed to be a lot younger than he is. He's supposed to be like in his mid-20s when he becomes king. And then Daemon's even younger than him because he's the little brother. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, I'm excited for this episode. Kristen Cole. Honest to heaven, I do not know how Kristen was able to walk out of the throne room when there's other Kingsguard and city guards and Valyrian guards and Targaryen guards standing around him, watched him do what he did, and then let him go. I felt really sad for Laenor. I felt sad for Rhaenyra. And someone mentions in one of the videos that I watched, they were like, Damon kind of just disappeared. Because when you go back and look at the scene, him and Rhaenyra are dancing and flirting and doing their thing. And Viserys is like trying to watch them through the crowd. And all of a sudden you hear the scream. And they cut to Kristen Cole and Laenor and Joffrey. And then when you cut back to Laena running in and Rhaenyra looking for Laenor, all of a sudden, Damon's just gone. Like, he's gone. He's not like in a corner somewhere, or he's not like watching in the background, unless if he is, no one sees him. He's just gone. And so a lot of people theorize that maybe he had something to push Kristen off the edge to do what he did, which is a very Damon thing to do, I think. However, I don't understand what Damon would get from Kristen doing what he did. How Damon would benefit from that, who knows? I would have loved to see Viserys and Laenor and Corlys and Rhaenyra and perhaps someone from Joffrey's house deal with the repercussions of a Kingsguard doing what he did to a knight. From what we as characters watching the story were like, he made a little jab, he did a little insult to you, but doing what he did and pushing it as far as you did, there is no excuse. Like, yes, you're tormented by the fact that you broke your Kingsguard's vows and your oath. However, Joffrey coming up to him and saying what he said should not have pushed you to the point where you literally lose control of your temper and your anger and your aggression. So I would have loved to see that kind of develop in this next episode. However, because we're doing a time skip, I don't think we will. So let's get into it. This episode, I believe, is called The Princess and the Queen. What we're about to see doesn't belong to me. It belongs to HBO. So you're going to see a cut down and condensed viewing and reaction. Before we get into it, I didn't even say this at the beginning, and I apologize. I want to thank all of my subscribers, all of my viewers for the likes and the comments. Some people have commented on my video being like, this is one of the best episodes, or last week's episode was one of the best episodes, which it literally left me on the floor, just brain melted situation. So I want to thank everyone for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I do plan on doing this right up until the end of season 1. And then hopefully when we get season 2, either at the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024, we could just hop right back into it. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. This is episode 6 of season 1, House of the Dragon. I believe it's called The Princess and the Queen. Let's go. Not skip intros. Let's see what's new this week. Ooh. That's new. Oh! Whoa! Okay, that's all new. Oh my goodness, there's so much. The casting that they did for this person, she looks so much like her mother. Yeah.
resting after your labours.
Are you?
I have no doubt that you would prefer that, Your Grace. You must sit.
Indeed, Your Grace.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Where is he?
He's missing an
Where is
arm.
that son? Well done, my girl.
He's missing his arm. I can't.
I do hope the labor was easy.
I think I called the midwife a cunt.
Aw, she loves her daddy.
Do keep trying, Selena. Sooner or later you may get one who looks like you.
That? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was the wrong time to eat. Nope. Yes.
Choose an egg for the baby. That looks like the perfect one. I let Luke choose.
All for the dragons. Okay. That's really cool.
Have a dragon one day.
You'll have to close an eye.
I know it.
You're laughing.
Ooh.
Neat wings for it.
She just said something that caught my attention.
Have I lost my sanity, Sir Kristen? Do my senses lead me astray, or is everyone else asleep, dreaming the same woody dream?
Sometimes seems so, Your Grace.
How are you still alive?
She flaunts the privilege.
Watch yourself, buddy.
That was beneath me, Your Grace. I apologize.
Look at Carax, he's doing his thing. Yeah, buddy. No way! Damn! Yo! Vagar is huge! Oh.
And its allies rise again. The Triarchy has made common cause with Corin Martell of Dawn.
Ooh.
At any moment they may turn their sights north.
Most men would only have that kind of devotion toward a cousin, or a brother, or a son.
Oh, backside. She remembers the secret passageways.
That's what this is about.
It's been 8 years, sweetly. Half of them never do, you know.
What?
Hatch.
Will they let me stay?
The dragon. I was without one until I was 15 years old. And now I ride a Vagar, the largest in the world.
Once.
It was a decade ago, and he has since left the region undefended.
We've left it undefended.
There should have been fortifications built. Watchtowers, a fleet of ships, a garrison of soldiers sent to... Wait. I wish to speak.
Be seated.
Yes, Queen. Speak.
My son, Jacaerys, will inherit the Iron Throne after me. I propose we betroth him to your daughter, Helena. Ally ourselves. Once and for all.
Yes.
Let them rule together.
A most judicious proposition.
How sweetly the fox speaks when he's being cornered by the hound.
She is sincere.
She is desperate. She feels the earth washing away beneath her feet, and now she expects us to ignore her transgressions and for me to marry my only daughter to one of her plain-featured sons.
The proposal is a good one, Michael.
Yo, Vagar is beautiful. And huge. Oh, she old. look at that face. Vhagar's like, I'm not gonna burn you. Oh my god! What?
You could give other that.
Someone strong my father. Am I a bastard?
Will you wish to hear? We're leaving.
What of your offer, Jace and Helena?
I have been undermined. I made a spectacle. They whisper about me in the corridors. Well, I leave them to it.
The Dragonstone, then?
To Dragonstone!
Blame me. Bring him. We need every sword we can muster.
Okay. Family road trip, let's go. Alright, guys. Well, that was quite an episode. A lot happened. So, there was a 10-year time jump, which means Rhaenyra would have been around 27. There were new bloodlines for Rhaenyra and for Alicent. There was new casting for Laenor, for Rhaenyra, for Alicent, for Lena. We open with Rhaenyra having a baby, and then the queen demanding to see her. By this point, Alicent has 3 kids. She's got Aegon II, Aemond, and Helena. And Rhaenyra has Jace, Lucerys, and the new baby that she gives birth to is Joffrey, after the Night of Kisses that was killed in the last episode. Daemon is also a father. He has 2 girls, Baela and Rhaella. And Lena is pregnant in this episode. We finally get to see Vhagar, guys. You saw my reaction to Vhagar. Vhagar is a monster. She's huge. She's huge. I was like, oh my goodness. Also, so that was really cool to see. We finally got to see Vhagar after teasing for so long. We also hear when Lena's talking to her daughter because her daughter has a dragon egg that's not hatching. She said that she claimed Vhagar when she was, I took notes, everything's written now. She bonded with Vhagar when she was 15. So in the episode where she's asking about Vhagar, she's 12. So then 3 years after she found and bonded with Vhagar. I wish we would have been able to see that. Unfortunately, we didn't. Aemond was being picked on by Alicent's other kids. Aegon, who's kind of an idiot. He's a jerk, for sure. And then also Rhaenyra's 2 children who are going to claim dragons. We see Jace claim a dragon. I forget what he named the dragon. But Helena was saying something about giving and taking an eye, which is, I think, foreshadowing for something coming up, which is going to be amazing. The Triarchy and Dorne are back in action together, and Daemon is over in Pentos with his family, and so they're asking for his help because Aegon the Conqueror helped them when he was in Westeros. They asked for his help, and he was able to help them. So they're asking Daemon to do the same thing Aegon the Conqueror did. And Daemon, so far, is kind of like, sure, okay. Beesbury. Beesbury is old. Like, he's going deaf, maybe a little senile. Don't know what's happening there. I think he might pass on soon. In the... Oh, Strong wants to leave. The Hand of the King wanted leave to take his son to Harrenhal, since Harrenhal is going to be, his new seat. There's rumors floating around the castle that Harwin is the father to Rhaenyra's children, because they are brown-haired and kind of plain-looking, as Alicent said. So he wanted to resign, and Viserys was like, no. So then he was like, well, let me just take my son to Harrenhal, and then I'll come back. Well, Larys Strong sent people to set fire to Harrenhal, and they end up dying. And then Alicent's like, shocked, I say, that this happened. But he was like, you literally told me that you wanted people on your side. So I removed the people that were on Rhaenyra's side, so you can usher in people that are on your side. And she's horrified by this. Like, genuinely, I saw in her reaction, she was horrified by that. Because she's like, this is not what I wanted. And he's like, it is, though. What else? Oh, while he was talking to his Hand of the King, he was like, you're the best hand that I had. Better than any previous hands that I've had. Which the only other hand he's had is Alicent's father's hand. So that was a kind of a underhanded insult to her and her father. She does not love that man. Like, nope. And that's kind of chuckle-worthy. While they were sitting talking about the Triarchy, and, Alicent's like, Daemon left the thing undefended. Rhaenyra is like, no, Daemon knelt before the king and handed his crown to his brother. So that's basically now our responsibility, not Daemon's, because Daemon was like, they named me King Stepstones, but you're the king. They're now your Stepstones. I'm out. But while they were there talking about that, she came up with a really, really cool idea, or a plan. She was like, I'm the heir, my son's the heir, will be the heir after me. Wed my son to your daughter, which would be his aunt. Because Helena, Aemond, and Aegon II are Rhaenyra's siblings. So her children, Helena would be his aunt. So Jace would marry Helena. And Viserys was like, brilliant, I love that plan. Alicent's like, nope, that's not gonna happen. Her children are plain looking, and no. So that was shoved under the rug real quick. Viserys has lost his arm. Like, his arm is gone. And although he's old and looks really bad, the new maester that he has, the new Grand Maester that he has, which is the younger guy from episode 5, because it's 10 years, so the old guy that was doing the leeching and the maggots has since left, and the apprentice is now the guy in charge, and whatever he's doing is keeping Viserys alive, which is a good thing. He looks like the Crypt Keeper, but he's still alive, and his wits are still about him. He's quick. He's quick with those comebacks. The city that he's building, Old Valyria, has grown even more, which is really, really cool to see. What else? Oh, Selena's pregnant. She's got 2 girls, pregnant with a third. The baby either is in breach. They didn't say what was going on. The guy who was helping her deliver was just saying, the baby's not coming. The baby is just not coming. I don't know what to do. So she decides to go out to Vagar, and you see a full frontal face of Vagar. She's old, because by the Dance of the Dragons, they say she's almost 200 years old. So and this is about a few years before. I don't quite know where the timeline this is, because Viserys is still alive. So this is still pretty early, and the kids are still young. So this is still early before the dance happens. We see a full face of Vagar, Nanny Granny Vagar, as people call her on YouTube, and she commands Vagar to kill her, and Vagar does, which is like, and Daemon's there, like, oh, I felt so bad for him, because he kind of did what his brother did with his first wife, which is the man who was, I don't know if it's a maester or whoever that's in Pentos, with them. He's just like, cut into the womb and maybe we can save the baby. And he's like, will it kill her? And he's like, probably. And these men don't communicate with their wives. Viserys didn't do it with Aemma, and Daemon didn't do it with Lena. He just was like, he's like, well, kill her? And he's like, maybe. And he's like, okay, no. He said no to the cutting in. But when he goes to go look at her or talk to her, she's gone. And then you see her stumbling outside. And then she commands Vagar to kill her. Oh. Thankfully the children weren't there to see it, but Daemon did. And so now he's just a wreck. Whew. Another episode in the books, guys. I like this episode. There's some tension. There's definitely some tension between Alysanne's children and Rhaenyra's children. The boys. And again, I'm going to say it. I don't know how Kristen Cole's still alive, but he's on Alysanne's side. So somewhere between the wedding and this time jump, she's vouched for him to stay on and keep his white cloaks. Kristen Cole insults the commander of the city guard, which is the hand of the king's son, Harwin Breakbones. He insults Harwin. He's like, I only see people who have that kind of, aggression and anger toward a cousin or a sibling or a child. And Harwin just lays into him, and I'm like, thank you. Retribution for what he did in the last episode. I do not condone violence. But it was kind of a poetic justice moment, if you will say, because he was insulting the princess's children and Harwin and the princess herself. And then he says something to Alysanne that even made Alysanne like stop in her tracks and was like, that was crossing the line. Like, she's still the princess, but, and I know you don't like her, but you gotta be respectful. But Alysanne, this episode was interesting to me. There are definitely some Cersei vibes I get. And her son, mainly the oldest one, is kind of an idiot. Not an idiot. He's just kind of a jerk. And he's already claimed Sunfire, so he has a dragon. His brother doesn't have a dragon, but Helena says something about losing an eye or something about closing one eye to claim whatever, to see. So I want to see how that plays out. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. If you have watched it and you've noticed things that I haven't mentioned here, please leave them in the comment section down below. Vagar, that's the only thing I was looking forward to seeing, was seeing Granny Vagar. And she is monstrous and huge, and I love it. I know Elena wants to go back to, like, Elena wanted to go back to Westeros, and I think Damon now feels guilty that he didn't just just be like, okay, let's go back. Because she's like, I want to be with my family, I want to be with my brother. Just I want to be with them. Something else. Later mentioned something, there was a few things actually, now that I'm thinking again. When Rhaenyra was leaving Alicent's room, first of all, Alicent insulted Laenor, which was not okay. She was like, keep trying and maybe you'll get one that looks like you. Insult. Laenor, when they were leaving, when Rhaenyra and Laenor were leaving, there was a trail of stuff following her because she just gave birth. And if you've given birth, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And she was in excruciating pain because she had just given birth. And then when she walked in, Alicent's like, you should be resting. What are you doing here? I was like, you... Really? You sent your... And it's the same person who was at her feet fixing her dress that went to go get Rhaenyra. So that was just not cool. But Laenor had said something about like running away from the storm, or as a sailor, you go around it, or you don't wait for it to come and get you. You sail around it, or you sail through it, or whatever. And so at the end, when Harwin leaves, her son was like, is that my daddy? First of all, that should have been a conversation, not given in a hallway, because God only knows who was listening to that. So that kind of shocked me, and it shocked her. But kids are smart. Kids are perceptive, and he knows what's up. So she goes and gets her husband, and he's sparring with his new partner. And she's like, we're going to Dragonstone, which, honest to God, I don't know why she wasn't there to begin with. Because she should have claimed Dragonstone when she was like 15, 16 years old. So she should have already been living on Dragonstone. If she goes to King's Landing and gets married, fine. Then you go back and you take your household guard with you. But they end her scene, her in this episode, with all of them on Dragonstone. With her boys, with her husband, with her guards, with her handmaids, all of that. Which is amazing. And then I think Daemon will head back to Westeros this next episode because, like, now he's got a dragon with no dragon rider. And Lena wanted to see her brother, and, they had gotten word that Rhaenyra gave birth, so she wanted to go back, but then she didn't even get a chance to do that, say goodbye to her family or anything. Oh, so there's new bloodlines, there's new characters, there's just new everything, and this is a good tipping off point to the rest of the episodes. We've got 3 episodes, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 4. We've got 4 episodes left until the finale. Oh, I felt so bad for Viserys in the end because he's sitting there looking at his city, and he puts Emma's ring on his finger, on the hand he has left. And I was just like, and he starts crying, which I thought was really sweet, because that's the person he really loved, and he realizes now, because his new wife's kind of mean, that he really messed up with that. And had she been alive, she would have been able to prevent him from missing an arm, losing an arm. Yeah, so that'll do it for if you liked it, leave a comment down below, your thoughts, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you're looking forward to in the remaining 4 episodes. Goodness. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Till my next video. Peace out.